Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode on the Archcraft server. I know it's been a little while, so I think as a good way, as a bit of a comeback episode, we do, or start, my zoom key's not working. Ah! Optifine, no! Sad. That, that makes me sad. Optifine's not working like it should. I might have to restart the game and check on that. I don't know. I noticed this when I logged in, whatever this is? I don't understand. Now the phone's not working? I just lost like half the fun of all this. Zooming in real close on my face. That makes me sad. I can do this, but that or wall. Something. Anyways, I, I I lost the track of what I was saying earlier. So think as a good comeback episode, or like it's been a few days, but let's get back to it. I'm going to lay out our next big project here. We still have stuff to finish, but we need various resources that I do not have the access to that I can't zoom. That's a different story. That will be done um, at some point. I don't know. My plans keep changing on what I'm gonna do there. The bridge is I don't know. I don't know. The bridge is still up in the air. I'm having a battle about the design now, and I'm just not sure. But this is the one thing that hasn't changed, is what I'm going to do in this area. And I don't remember if I told y'all or not what I had planned to do here. And that is to build a Japanese castle. Now, I've already done some mock-ups here, so I know about roughly how big I want it to be. The base is going to be 27 by 27. So it will look a little something like this. Haha. So you may be looking at this and telling that it's kind of a big foundation. And yes, it's a huge foundation. It's 27 by 27 blocks. And I'm looking at my paper to make sure that I was right about that. Took measurements so I know exactly how big this thing's going to be. And height-wise, it's going to be roughly this high up. And just for a little extra reference, this isn't how tall the build's going to be. Right on top of that piece of diorite is where the foundation for the building is going to start. Just to give you an idea, this essentially becomes a placeholder framework to kind of tell about where the land mass has to go for this. And you may notice I came out over the water here, and I didn't go at the same level, and that's on purpose. Because I want this landmass, and I'll probably change up the shoreline a little bit to make it look a little more natural, I want an overhang on this corner. Kind of like how this looks here already, how you have this part of the marsh terrain that's just kind of bled over into the plains here. I kind of want that to be up on the underside and along this side of the island, even bleeding over here and back out to the marsh over here. So it looks a bit more like a cohesive biome. And then just have this giant pillar coming up probably right about here. And it just starts rising up, and you get this huge stone face. And maybe on other sides like this here, you'll have a much more general, gradual rise. And right here, there'll probably be a slope to act as like part of the passageway up. So you may start up on a nice gradual transition. It gets real steep, and then there's like a bridge that connects you out over here. And then it continues up to the actual main entrance at the base of the build itself. And yeah, this thing is going to be big. So what about the foundation itself? Well, that's going to be mostly comprised of stone brick. Now, I hope I have enough stone brick for this, because I want to do the entire foundation as my goal. There's 3 tiers of the base before the actual structure begins. And each tier is 4 blocks tall with a section of brick in between and some slabs to make it look pretty. I may not have enough stairs, but we'll see. We'll see. So, I am going to get started on this in a little bit of a time lapse. So let's hit it. Well, bad news. I went through all my smooth stone. That's all of it. um, I thought I had a lot more than that. I knew I had to craft up more stone bricks than I brought, but I thought I would have enough smooth stone to make enough, and I do not. But on the bright side, when this thing's finally done, I love this. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh my god. I absolutely love this up here. This is beautiful. I don't know if I should lower it or not. I wonder. I didn't look earlier if I could see out to the shopping district or not. Make sure my wings are still on. Nope. I had to decrease my render distance too because the game actually was running a lot worse than I thought it was. My laptop was having trouble, so I had to lower the render distance. But I think typically you could see the shopping district if my render distance didn't have to be so low. Which is a darn shame if you ask me. But that's not a lot of footage I got there, and we gotta do something more, don't we? So I figure, since we do have, well, okay, not you, Drachenfischer, I can speak, that we can take Spitzpickus and go underground and collect ourselves some more smoothstone and, you know, actually mine the stuff for the goal of mining the stuff, if I can remember where I store these things. I'm having a great time trying to speak, because the English, like, nothing's wrong with English at all. At all, it's not like it's a difficult language, even for native speakers or anything, that I struggle. My woes aside, so what I'm going to do, because I've already mined out quite a bit of strip mines down here, is I'm basically just going to take this and just tunnel bore and gather resources as I go to, because that will be handy. Maybe, yeah, and I'll just silk touch everything. So we'll just do this as another time lapse, so it can be another time lapse. Yay. Alright, there we go. I hope this goes a little bit further this time now, and yeah, we'll get as much done as possible. I'm not gonna worry about the stairs too much right now. I'm just gonna worry about getting the general structure finished. And I know we're nearing the rough 10-minute mark in the episode. So, so I figure what better way than to skip doing yet another time lapse, because it's not fun to do a time lapse all the time, and I know that. But I will say though, it does make it a little easier when doing these types of projects. I think there's plenty of people out there who can agree that it is easier when you don't have to worry about paying attention to doing two things at a time. And even though I would love to do another chatty episode at the same time, I did want to get this whole base done in one episode. So what's the best way to do that? That's right, another time lapse. Here we go. well, so much for doing that today. That's as far as we're gonna get. And I hate that I can't zoom, but you have an idea about how big this is gonna be, roughly. And that's only the foundation. The foundation is like 1/5 the total height of what this is gonna be at the end. Roughly 1/5 of the total height. I may make some changes to the design, make it higher, but I also don't want to be so high that you can't really see the ground because of the fog. I don't know if there's just something missing from this version that I downloaded of Optifine. I'm fairly certain I'm using the Optifine version, but if I turn out to be wrong, then that's kind of embarrassing, and that's on my part. And you'll find out in the next video if that's true or not if I decide to zoom in on my face, like I'm supposed to keep on now. So, yeah. But yeah, we gotta start there. I think that would be good for this episode because I know we're running a little tight on time, or we're getting close. I'm not entirely sure. That's 3 time lapses. I'm sure you all don't want to do another time lapse. And I'm kind of disappointed by how much XP I got back from all that stuff in the mine. I was actually kind of thinking I was gonna end up with a lot more repair overall than that, but yeah. And not really much in here. Just put the, well, there's some, but not enough to really have made much of a difference in the total run of, or total thingy bobber word thing. This, yeah, yeah, I can speak. Shirimasen, Yanyesne, ich weiß nicht, and so on. I just don't know. Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed the episode. I hope you all enjoyed all the work I put into it, because there's a lot more work than I thought there was going to be. I didn't think I'd have to do that much more gathering. This turned out to be a lot more brick than I had intended. Which is surprising because I've built a structure like this before, but then again, I already had all that stone stockpiled in a storage silo, so I didn't really think about how much went into it. I just filled up my inventory with bricks and it was done. And I never bought it. Wow. I never batted an eye at how many resources it spent to build it. Except for the concrete. I know it took a lot of concrete, and that's going to be the hardest thing, is getting enough concrete, because I know that was several shulker boxes worth. So yeah, and I'm gonna keep trying to get some shulker boxes because they're gonna come in handy in finishing this project, because it's gonna be big. And in order to make it easier on myself, when I do get up to its final level, I will put in the main floor, so I have a platform to land on, and I will light up the land mass underneath, so then it doesn't become an unintentional mob farm. Even though maybe I'll put a mob farm in there in the foundation. Maybe? I don't know. It's an interesting idea, and yeah. Interesting is the only word I can find for it, but yes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this project going, and... Oop, wrong button. Screenshot, that'd be nice. I like doing screenshots and seeing progress. Sometimes I'll take a tour of my screenshots and just look at the progress slowly over time. And doing the videos is another way of doing that. And I actually kind of enjoy the video format a little bit more, because then you can actually get a more angles all at once. Like, you can tell the 3 dimensions a lot better than from a single shot of just this. And you can obviously tell that, yeah, that full house is there. You can't tell if the full house is there or not in this shot, or even if it is a 3-dimensional house and not 2-dimensional. It's kind of hard to tell. No, it's 3-dimensional. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. I have been Vicky, as always, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.